Let's get this day started. Brazil, Lucas Ramirez, Manny's kid in the leadoff spot. Vitor Ito has been elevated to the 2 spot. Osvaldo Carvalho is at first. Leonardo Reginatos, final game, 35 years old. This should be fun. Victor Mascai, Lucas Rojo, Enzo Hayashida gets a start. Gabriel Maciel and Gabriel Ducarmo is in the 9 spot. And for their skipper and their players, last shot at getting a win in the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, so important too, Rich. This is a big game for both of these teams. And on the mound for Great Britain, Brendan Beck. Look at his numbers last year between double and triple A. 13-5 with an ERA in the low 3s. More importantly, K's the walks. 123 strikeouts, only 36 walks. This will be his first WBC appearance and a big start for Great Britain.
Somewhere in Abbey Road, there's somebody watching this matchup and probably said, well, that's a nice song to start things for Great Britain here at Daikin Park. Lucy in the Sky with diamonds. Speaking of that, this guy has been just terrific. Nate Eaton is one of those guys that if we were doing an all-pool team, he's on it.
No question about it. He had all 3 hits for Great Britain in that game against Team USA. And the trumpet's out, we're ready.
I'd like to see him with a duet with Timmy Trumpet, right?
Fly him wherever Mr. Diaz is coming into a game for the Dodgers in relief.
All right, this guy can really pitch. This is Brendan Beck, the right-hander. Yankee property, and that hits the hand of Lucas Ramirez, and I believe he's on his way to first. He did not swing at the pitch. The question is, did it hit hand? It can hit hand and bat, but if it's just bat, it's not a hit by pitch, and that's reviewable.
See, it looked like it caught him on those last 2 fingers down on that knob of the bat. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Not a lot of meat in that part of the hand area. That has to sting a little bit.
Ramirez on his way to first. And that's a start for Brazil because base runners have been hard to find. They haven't had a lot of opportunities with runners in scoring position. They've scored their runs with home runs. And here's Ito. If you're looking to play little ball, this is a perfect guy to do it with. Lays down the bunt. It's a good one. Beck fires the first in time.
On cue. Good scouting report there, Rich. Try to get runners in the scoring position. You have Ramirez at second base. It has good speed. Tell you the importance of this game. Sacrifice bunting in the first inning. Very well done by Ito. Only play that Great Britain has is at first base.
Ramirez has pretty good speed. Ito gets some high fives. Carvalho now in the 3-hole, the first baseman, looking for his first hit of the Classic. And the count's 1-0. Beck pitched at Stanford, got to AAA with the Yankees for the first time this past season. He had a really solid year there as well. 13-5, a 3.36 ERA. Second round pick. His teammate, his brother, a San Francisco Giant. Tristan Beck. It's 3-0. Here's your defense. Eaton out in center. This outfield can really go get it. Now there's a shortstop in left field with Ian Lewis Jr., who is out there now as Wallace Clark gets the start at short. See if he gets something. 3-0. That's high. And so traffic for Brazil Brad Marcelino, the skipper for Great Britain, a little concerned right now. This may be their best starter, numbers-wise.
And remember, in this round, only 65 pitches, the maximum allowed. You'd like to have your starting pitchers be economical. Ground ball double play right here would certainly bring a smile to the face of everyone rooting for Great Britain.
Well, Reginato now in his final game of his career. And off speed gets him a strike. It's 0-1. Outfield straight up. You imagine a guy like Reginato in about 20 or 30 years, as Brazil's baseball program grows and they're more competitive and there's more guys in the big leagues, he'll be like the goodwill ambassador.
I tell you what, he's had a marvelous career playing in Brazil. If this is his last game, which he says it will be, he certainly would like to go out with a bang inside move there from Beck. Just in case Ramirez getting a little froggy there at second base, having ideas of trying to swipe third.
That is not measured on Baseball Savant. I've looked for it. There's no frogginess formula. Swing and a miss.
Good fastball there from Beck, 93 miles an hour. That four-seam fastball that rides up in the zone. We've seen a lot of pitchers in this Pool B. That pitch right there plays. It's a hard pitch to get on top of and put in play.
1-2 pitches up. This is only the 9th at bat in the Classic with runners in scoring position for Brazil.
Yeah, they've been playing catch up from the get-go. They've had a real rough draw. This is their 4th consecutive day playing. They've been stuck with that night game, day game, night game, day game.
And a foul tip held by Harry Ford. Brendan Beck gets a big out.
Yeah, you can see why Great Britain is pinning their hopes on Beck. Really polished pitcher and a terrific slider. You see that grip off-centered. Makes life easy for Harry Ford when your pitchers can execute.
And by design, Brad Marcelino had him lined up for this start. Mascai now homered in his first game. Back to the mound. Beck has it. Great Britain escapes. Brazil leaves 2. We're underway in Houston. Here they are. 0-3 though. Nate Eaton's been terrific. He's on our all-pool team for sure. Ford, Chisholm, Murray, Johnson, Koperniak, Lewis, Trace Thompson, Wallace Clark getting a start in the 9th spot. He's at short. This is Eaton. Couple doubles and a home run in 3 games. And Enzo Sawayama misses high. It's 1-0.
Sawayama was brilliant against Team Italy. 4 scoreless innings. So Team Brazil saving their most reliable starting pitcher. There's a good look at it. The WBC qualifiers.
Eaton goes after a high breaking ball and pops it up. Carvalho is there and makes the catch. Brazil's defense. Do Carmo is back behind the plate. Maciel is out in center field. Mascai out in left. And there's Victor Ito. He's getting a start at shortstop as well.
I know you like Ito. Laid down a really nice sacrifice bunt in the top of the first inning. Something tells me if Great Britain's going to do what they want to do, Harry Ford and Jazz Chisholm are going to have a big game.
Just outside, yep.
Harry Ford had a great start with a home run. 2 for 11 so far. Chisholm waits on deck.
Once the WBC is over, could be a fine year for Harry Ford. Traded to the Washington Nationals. He was blocked there with Cal Raleigh doing the brunt of the catching for the Seattle Mariners. You watch Sawayama pitch. He's kind of a taller version of Yusei Kikuchi, who pitched a little bit here in Houston with the Astros. A little hesitation in that delivery. Not an overpowering lefty, but commands 3 pitches. Good changeup right there has Harry Ford out front. Not an overpowering guy, but he knows how to pitch. He knows who he is.
Sawayama not the only Brazil starter that's going to pitch in this game. Bo Takahashi is slated to follow Sawayama. So their best arms for their last game.
Missed with another changeup.
Be interesting to see if Ford cracks that lineup for Washington, where he hits in the order. Athletic catcher. Swing and a miss. Sawayama, who threw 4 shutout innings, looking good here.
Change up on the pitch before, sets up this 92, makes it look 95. Well located. 2-seam fastball, outer corner.
Chisholm. Jazz Chisholm, of course, coming off a terrific year with the Yankees. Yesterday against Italy, 2 for 4, couple hits and a stolen base. He had not had a hit in the first 2 games. Skies that one to center. We got 2 pretty good starters on the bump in this one. Enzo Sawayama for Brazil and Brendan Beck for Great Britain.
Brendan Beck took the mound to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. Well, there's Lucy. That's his mother. Her name is Lucy. She was born in Wales, and so he takes the mound to that song as a tribute to her. As we pan out, the entire Beck family is here. They are from Corona, California. There's Ryan Beck, who is Brendan and Tristan's father there at the back. Brendan's wife, Riley, is also here. The boys' sister, Megan. They're all, Megan, Brendan, Tristan, all Stanford products. A really impressive family, and all here in support of Lucy's home country, the UK.
Yvonne Johnson backing up, throws out Lucas Rojo with a little help from his friends. Actually, B.J. Murray.
I see what you did there, Rich. That was really good.
Well, you know, any way I can contribute. Oh, so this is game 4. This is painting number 4. Where have the first 3 gone? Are they hanging up in the hotel, in the clubhouse? Not in the Louvre. Come on.
We don't know yet, but I think, if I could suggest, we do have some British representation in the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in Cooperstown. Of course, Henry Chadwick, known as the father of baseball. These are worthy of the art exhibit room in Cooperstown.
I think you can make that happen. Little tapper. As Hayashida gets his first at bat of the game. Pretty cool. We need to send him to like the Field of Dreams, or maybe Rickwood Field down in Alabama. Macio, 2 for 8.
Good curveball there from Beck. Pitch count really in order. First 3 hitters of the game, that pitch count started to climb a little bit. Perfect world as a starting pitcher, you'd like to have one of those 12 to 15 pitches per inning. That should line Beck up to be able to get into at least the 4th, possibly the 5th inning. The longer he goes, the better the chances are for Great Britain.
In a perfect world for Brad Marcelino, Brendan Beck would start and Tristan Beck would close, because the Becks are here. Tristan, the San Francisco Giant, and he's kind of he's like their high leverage guy, their best guy. And if it's closing, that might be a really nice bookend. Chisholm, little short hop, whips it to first, and gets the out. 1, 2, 3. The Becks have their whole section.
Historians believe baseball was actually invented in Britain and not Cooperstown, New York. Certainly a lot of myth-making about that here in the States, and there are 3 representatives born in Great Britain in the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Henry Chadwick, as we mentioned, and the Wrights as well. On the mound for Team Brazil today, Enzo Sawayama, who pitches right now in Japan, of course. The National Baseball Hall of Fame recently electing and inducting the first Japanese player there, Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro, who is probably in uniform right now, either throwing batting practice or shagging balls in spring training. He's still at it.
Probably trying to convince Dan Wilson that he can still play.
Oh, he can.
Oh, right. He can still throws a lot of batting practice.
He threw a first pitch out, I believe, last year, and I think he hit 90 or upper 80s. That one's fouled back to the screen. The cool thing about Ichiro, as B.J. Murray, Ivan Johnson, and Matt Koperniak do up here, Ichiro went to the Hall of Fame before he was a major leaguer. He was really fascinated with it, wanted to become accustomed with it, and he did it somewhat undercover and explored the Hall of Fame, looked at all the stuff. So his relationship with that place started a long time before he was inducted. Here's the 2-2. Murray on the ground. Reginato across the diamond in time.
Boy, both pitchers on point so far. Beck has been very sharp, as is Sawayama. Both controlled type pitchers. We've seen some pitchers pitch very well in this Pool B. Not chasing spin and velocity, but locating the fastball and the changeup. Beck has been sharp.
Ivan Johnson, 1 for 10 in the Classic. Sawayama now with 5 scoreless innings in the Classic. Some of you happened upon us recently, last few minutes, flipping around. Hey, it's a baseball game. It's Great Britain, it's Brazil, and they're both 0-3, but there's a ton on the line in this ball game. To qualify for the next baseball Classic, you can't finish in last place in your pool. It's like European soccer. You get kicked down the ladder, so to speak, and you have to re-qualify, which is what Brazil had to do coming in. Great Britain in 2023 upset Colombia, and you would have thought they'd won Game 7 of the World Series. The celebration was so big because not only did they re-qualify, but it also added visibility, more funding, and more momentum to the program in Great Britain.
Boy, back-to-back changeups from Sawayama right there. 2 dandies. Normally in games like this that mean so much, pitchers that can move the ball around and change speeds, hitters are going to be a little more on the aggressive side. One of the keys for both of these teams is to try to jump out to a lead early. Both have saved their best pitchers for this game.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's a ball.
Pretty good looking pitch right there. After a couple of changeups, went to the fastball.
Sawayama. That's ball 4. He's aboard. All right, here's the flashback. This was such a great moment for Great Britain. Harry Ford popped a 3-run homer in this game. Colombia was favored, but Great Britain with that strikeout. Drew Spencer, the skipper. And here they are 3 years later, trying to do it again. Koperniak takes a strike. One of the best, this is my 5th World Baseball Classic. One of the best games I've called was one of these games back in 2013. And Brazil was involved against China, and the game was in the Tokyo Dome. China didn't really have a chance at all. They had one guy that had played in the minor leagues, Ray Chang, who had played AAA ball. He was a native of Kansas City. His parents moved to Kansas City from China and opened a restaurant there. He was their only shot if they were going to get a run across. Here's the 1-1. It's line foul. John McLaren was the skipper of that team, and it came down late. They were down, and as chance would have it, Ray Chang came to the plate and knocked one in the gap and chased home 2 runs, and China won the game. Here's the 1-2. It's flipped foul. But that's just the beginning of the story. Apparently, the Chinese Federation was not paying their players, and they weren't giving them per diem. And the word was, had they not won that game, they would not get paid, and they would end baseball in China. So you would, I mean, just imagine the celebration when they won the game. They were going to get paid, they're going to get their per diem, and Ray Chang saved baseball in China.
Talk about playing under the gun right there, right? Lots of pressure to try to pick up a W.
Koperniak knocks it into left field. There's something going here for Great Britain.
Nice piece of hitting right here. Good balance, keeps his head down, left on left, doesn't try to pull it. Hits it through that vacated hole between short and third. Great Britain in some business, first and second, and 1 out.
Andre Rienzo, such a big part of Brazilian baseball, former major leaguer, is the pitching coach. He arrives. Ian Lewis waiting at the plate. Always cool, the interaction with the umpires as well. You've got umpires from all over the globe. Major league umpires, umpires from Japan and China, even one from Czechoslovakia. All right, JP, what you got?
You mentioned Andre Rienzo. He's a really important person in the future of Brazilian baseball as well. He's one of the coaches at the MLB Partnered Academy in Ibuna, Brazil, where MLB has invested heavily to partner with the Brazilian Baseball Federation to help grow the next generation of players. These are players who are preparing to potentially sign with MLB clubs once they turn 16. And so Andre Rienzo very involved in the grassroots of the game. If you see Brazilian players signing this year, next year, the year after that, there's a pretty good chance Andre Rienzo and Lucas Rojo, who's in this game playing second base, have helped to have them improve to get ready for pro ball.
That's a good story. Sawayama thought maybe it was a check swing. He looked down to the first base umpire, Zdenek Zidek. There's Rienzo's resume. 3 years in the show, was in the minors. Second Brazilian-born player in Major League history. Swing and a miss by Lewis. Dan, what do you think of this left-hander, Sawayama?
I like him a lot. Great straight changeup. You can tell that he's pitched at a high level in Japan. Very composed, body language on the mound, doesn't get flustered. It's been a little bit difficult for Team Brazil. They've ran into some juggernauts, though. Team USA, Mexico, and Italy. Those 3 teams have kind of separated themselves in Pool B.
That's a nice play by Carvalho. Ito will hold on to it, and Brazil prevents a run and gets an out. There's 2 down.
Yeah, really nice play. You see him shaded off the bag at first base. An emergency swing from Lewis with Koperniak right in his vision, too. He goes ahead and cuts off that lead runner, and Ito faking that throw, trying to catch that runner, maybe rounding third base. There's the decoy throw. Their quick look at third base.
Trace Thompson now in the 8th spot. Thompson making social media light up with that great catch against Team USA, robbing Will Smith of a home run. And he takes outside. And if you're new to this pool and you're new to Great Britain, he comes from a baseball family, obviously, and a basketball family. Got a brother who plays baseball. His other brother, Klay Thompson, of course, NBA star. Michael Thompson, two-time champ as well. Down the left field line, and this is an easy way out. And a nice escape job by Enzo Sawayama. Scoreless. Kind of the quiet before the storm tonight here in Houston. Daikin Park with Brazil and Great Britain right now. Brendan Beck wobbled a bit in the first when he hit Lucas Ramirez and walked a batter. But since then, he's retired 5 straight. Gabriel do Carmo in the 9th spot for Brazil. Lucas Ramirez is on deck. And of course, tonight it's USA and it's Mexico.
You could kind of feel the buzz here already. Last night we had a chance to see Mexico, and this Daikin Park was alive. It should be some game tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. Team USA, Paul Skeens against Team Mexico.
What makes it unique, that's a strike, is, and we were talking about this the other day, you never really get to experience a full baseball stadium that's half and half, right? I mean, if the game's in Boston, everyone's for Boston. If the game's at Dodger Stadium, that's a Dodger crowd. Tonight, it'll be Team USA and it will be Mexico. And when the game was played in 2023 in that big upset by Mexico in Phoenix, the crowd felt like it was 60-40 Mexico. Little roller, Johnson on to first.
Nice play there by Johnson. Plays it on the short hop. Plays the ball in front of him. See, he's playing at just about normal third base depth. He catches this one on the second hop and a strike to first base. Well done. Sets his feet, throws a strike to Murray over at first.
So first time through now, 6 ground ball outs from Brendan Beck.
When you watch Beck pitch, he's really solid mechanically. Simple mechanics, like a lot of starting pitchers now. They don't go with that over-the-head windup. What I really like about it, if you watch his delivery, he keeps his head and his chest right on target, doesn't fall off towards the first base side of the mound. Keeps a nice solid line between the middle of his body and home plate.
He came inside and hit Ramirez on the finger right off the knob of the bat. Lewis makes the catch. Have you been to a European soccer match?
I have not. As a matter of fact, I have never ventured over the pond. I have never been to Europe.
Well, that's what you're going to experience tonight. This is much more like a European soccer rivalry environment.
Following that game last night, the big win from Mexico, 16-0 win. There were several thousand people, a good 15, 20 minutes after the game, that hadn't left their seats. It seemed like the party was just getting started here on a Sunday night. 15 minutes after the game was over, this place was still jumping.
It was. And yeah, you walk out of here and the 3 or 4 surrounding blocks were just a street party. Paul Skeens tonight against question mark.
Seems like word is that it's going to be more of an opener / bullpen type game for Team Mexico. Taijuan Walker was really good last night. Mexico broke out the bats last night. Thought it was a cool moment. Alec Thomas hit a home run. His father is a coach of Team Brazil. Father watching his son do his thing.
Tell you what, Brendan Beck is dialed in. Scoreless start. Paul Skeens tonight against Mexico here in Houston. Back in Houston, Wallace Clark leads it off for Great Britain. Nate Eaton, Harry Ford to follow. Got 9, got 1, and 2 for the Brits. They had a couple runners aboard in the second, didn't score. Brazil had a couple runners aboard in the first, they didn't score. And that's in to Clark, young player, 23. Played at Oklahoma and Duke. Had a really nice college career in the minor leagues with Arizona after they took him in the 9th round.
Another changeup from Sawayama. That's been his bread and butter pitch. That's the way to disguise 91, make it play up 93, 94.
He's getting outs, and that first inning was just an 11-pitch inning. 65 is still the limit. That's outside. Whether they let him get to that limit, because he did start 2 days ago and went 4 innings, that's to be seen. Eaton on deck. Clark liked to get on base for Eaton, who's had a hot bat. Foul tip, and that's held, and that's a strikeout.
Well located fastball ties Clark up. Four-seam fastball with a little cut action in. See the catcher setting up in, bullseye, hits that target. You see that pitch just tie Clark up.
Eaton popped out back in the first. And he takes a breaking ball for a strike.
3 pitches Sawayama commands: the fastball, changeup, and he'll flip up that low 70-mile-an-hour curveball.
Eaton takes high. Brad Marcelino said this guy leads by example. VMI, where he went to school. He's a blue-collar player. Got to the Red Sox last year for 41 games. Swings and misses. On base percentage about .348. 4 homers, stole some bags. Always in the minors coming up. Good on base. And the ability every now and then to steal a bag. Here's a 1-2. And he fouls it off. Hey, by the way, you know, last night we kind of challenged fans to bring a mask down to Jon Morosi so he could do his post-game interview that way. Yeah.
You ask and you shall receive. Look at J.P. Morosi right there.
Much more menacing.
Yes.
That way. No longer the friendly interview guy. His questions were much more pointed on the post-game show last night, wearing that mask.
Saw that interview with Alex Thomas. Asked him about what it was like. Did he make eye contact with his father as he rounded the bag? I love the answer. He said, no, but we made contact once I got back to the dugout.
Yes, and Alec, by the way, was the hero of that interview because he smiled at me at the beginning, seeing the luchador mask that Danny Sanchez had given me from Team Mexico's communications department, and yet he's still, Alec is such a gentleman. So, all right, let's do the interview with you wearing the mask. It was great. He's such a great young man, and again, his father Alan is so proud of him. But gentlemen, I got to tell you, this proves everybody was listening to this broadcast, because within a couple innings of you mentioning the luchador mask, it was down to me.
Outstanding. Glad to help. The 4th inning. That's where we're headed. We're scoreless. Brendan Beck. Osvaldo Carvalho. And Beck flips up a strike, and it's 0-1. Carvalho walked back in the first. Little tapper up the line. Carvalho's a guy that everybody roots for. I mean, his story is just really incredible. He's the guy that, when not playing baseball, clocks in for his day job as a construction worker. And, I mean, look, Beck came out to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds because his mom was Lucy. Why not? You could either have a song by the Carpenters, or there's an old song, I believe, it's like If I Were a Carpenter. Those are the only Carpenter songs I can think of. Swing and a miss. And Carvalho goes down.
Brendan Beck has been rock solid. That was just pitch number 40. First out here in the 4th inning. Good overhand curveball, change of pace. Has Carvalho out in front.
First pitch to Reginato. JP?
Really nice tribute from Brendan Beck to Lucy's family. Lucy's maiden name is Piper, and then her mother's maiden name is Thomas. And those two names are written on Beck's cleats. There's a great look. You can see it when he slows down, that those two family names, Piper and Thomas, are right there on his cleats. She was born in Newport, Wales, just northeast of Cardiff, on the mouth of the River Severn. So very, very honored the Beck family is to represent that Welsh heritage. And Lucy there at the left-hand side of your screen. Ryan, as we mentioned, Brendan and Tristan's father in the back too. There they are. And actually that's a Welsh saying as well on his right cleat. So very proud of the Welsh language and Welsh heritage, the Beck family of Corona, California.
Do you ever sleep?
I will sleep when the World Baseball Classic is over, Rich and Dan. This is, and to borrow one of the famous lines from another team in this pool, Nessun Dorma, which Pavarotti would always sing. No one sleeps. That's what that means. Nessun Dorma. So we will sleep in April.
You're like the John Rothstein of baseball. John is, of course, a great college basketball guy, and his saying is, we'll sleep in May. JP gets to sleep in April. Reginato. Boy, wouldn't it be great if he pops one out of the park? Not for the Becks, but for him in his last game ever. Check swing, did not go, and Reginato trots down to first. Brazil has a base runner.
Boy, Beck made some really good pitches in that at-bat.
Ooh, home plate umpire right now screaming into the Great Britain dugout. That was heated. Brendan Miller, so Major League umpire, took about 10 steps towards Great Britain's dugout, and he fired off a couple salvos. We haven't seen that yet here in Houston. Mascai now with Reginato at first.
Happens. Tempers get a little short day game after a night game. A lot on the line for both of these teams. This is a very important game for both Brazil and Great Britain. Umpires even feeling a little bit of that tension.
Absolutely. I think as umpires in this event, you have to have somewhat of a United Nations type approach, right? Because you're dealing with managers, coaches, players from different leagues. You're from a different league sometimes than they are, different countries.
I think he was directing that anger towards Barry Enright, pitching coach for Great Britain, like most and all good pitching coaches sticking up for their pitchers.
We had a great scene earlier in a game with Brazil. Yuichi Matsumoto, the manager for Brazil, was in a heated argument, and he had his interpreter out there. And you could just see that the anger that Matsumoto had was softened by the interpreter telling the umpire, manager is very upset. You know, it's like somehow I don't think the tenor of the argument got to the umpire. There he is. He's terrific. That guy's been incredibly helpful for us because he also knows everything about Brazilian baseball. Now, Sky's homer came in game one. He bounced to first, back in the first. Reginato away from first. Beck with a 3-1. Counts full.
Great pitch there, 3-1 slider.
Harry Ford can throw pretty well. At 35, I don't know that Reginato will be on the move, but we'll see. He's running, and it's fouled. And I like that. And that's something that Matsumoto told us at the start. When he has the opportunity, he wanted to put the game in play. We saw a bunt earlier.
It helps when you have a guy like Meskai that's up at the plate, puts the ball in play, has a pretty good eye. Might not be a good idea to send a runner if you have a guy that has a lot of swing and miss in his game. Run yourself into a potential strikeout, throw him out, ending double play. So as a manager, you have to have trust with the guy that's hitting. You want to send that runner who doesn't run all that well.
Another throw closer.
You can see he was leaning there. Had a little buckle in that right leg. If you're a guy like Reginato that doesn't run real well.
They want to look at this. Are they going to challenge it? No challenge. Three-two. He's running again. Swing and a miss. There's Ford's throw. It's high, but in time.
That's the gamble you take when you send a runner that doesn't run all that well. You put yourself in a spot for a strike him out, throw him out. Just what Great Britain needed.
Scoreless in Houston, Brazil, and Great Britain. Back in Houston, scoreless start here. Brazil, Great Britain, bottom four. Jazz Chisholm is up. And he takes inside from Enzo Sawayama. Bo Takahashi, who also started a game for Brazil, we've been told will probably pitch and follow Sawayama. The other thing that was communicated to us from Yuichi Matsumoto is that he said in a dream he had Joseph Contreras on the mound to close the game. And in that dream, he strikes out the final batter. Now, again, subject to interpretation. I don't know if he said it was a more dream scenario or if it was in a dream, but that's kind of the thing. Yuji Izawa is the interpreter for Brazil and one of our best friends, certainly, here in Houston.
Ball's out.
That just missed. No ball strike challenge, as we've seen in spring training and will have in Major League Baseball this year. The 3-1. Chisholm hits a high fly ball, right field. Ramirez got to the track and now comes back and makes the catch. Down to you, John Morosi.
Enzo Sawayama has been so effective thus far in the tournament that I've been asking some sources with Team Brazil, hey, is he going to sign with an MLB team? And the response I got was, well, John, it's a little complicated. He has a job right now pitching for the Industrial League team of the Yamaha Corporation in Japan. It's a semi-pro, almost minor league level of baseball, but part of it is if you stay there and you pitch for the team during your youth, if it as it was, that you stay there and have a job with the company until you're 65. It's a nice lifestyle, a good retirement. So for him, for Sawayama, if he's going to leave that comfort, the offer has to be pretty good at the major league level. So that's the explanation for why he's not just pitching in the minor leagues, because Rich and Dan, he's got a pretty good job right now in Japan.
That's astonishing. That means that Dan Plesac should be a head brewmaster at Miller Beer in Milwaukee.
That's exactly right. That would be the analog.
Now you're talking my language.
I mean, I had to go through some of his teams and decide, well, what job would fit him, right? And then it's like, duh,
Milwaukee,
the Brewers.
right? Put me right in Beer City.
B.J. Murray swings and misses. How awesome is that?
I'll tell you what, I give a guy like Sawayama a lot of credit because it would be awful enticing if you had a chance to pitch at the major league level. We've seen so many pitchers come over from Korea and Japan and have success.
That's a liner, and it's fair. B.J. Murray into the corner and racing for second. Ramirez picks it up, and it's a double. And Great Britain, with one out, has a runner in scoring position.
There's only been 2 hits so far. We're getting into the bottom of the 4th inning. Koperniak single and this double right here. Hits it in the corner down in right field. He had thoughts of maybe 3. Watch him out of the box here. He knows when he hits this. He's on his horse right away. He's digging around first. Does a really good job right here. Picks up his third base coach. They put the brakes on.
Is this the end of the road? Rienzo out. Maybe a check to see how much he's got left in the tank. Ivan Johnson, Matt Koperniak, also scheduled. Da Silva is actually up in the bullpen. Seven and a third innings pitched. That's the most of anybody in the tournament. You can see today's total at 56. There is the limit of 65. Johnson walked back in the second. And you've got the lefty Koperniak on deck.
Yes.
Johnson thinking about bunting.
Yeah, more than likely trying to bunt for a base hit. Scouting around, looked down at Reginato at third base. He was playing a little bit deep at third. Not a bad idea. That should get Reginato in a couple of steps. Open up some space on that side of the infield. Pulls the string. Sawayama with a changeup is the dreaded equalizer. Most of the hitters that we've seen in this Pool B have been on the aggressive side. It's so early still. We're in the early stages of March. Hitters trying to get their timing down. They hit a lot off the velocity machines, which is so prevalent in today's baseball. Boy, if you could change speeds, particularly with a changeup or a split finger, the dreaded equalizer.
One, two, knocked down. If you could change speeds with the pitching machine like that and go high velocity and then in 11 seconds, now they're pretty, look, the pitching machines now are so incredibly sophisticated. You can get a look at a pitcher's delivery and the ball comes out just as he delivers it and just as he throws it.
There are a few teams, look at, there's your guy Ito, another decoy move right there.
That's because he's a coach, right? I mean,
right?
He knows all the tricks.
All the trickery.
Two. End of the bat, Squibber, a long way to go for Carvalho, and Sawayama gets over nicely.
Good job there by Sawayama to get over. Can be a little bit more difficult for a left-handed pitcher as you tend to fall off towards third base. He's more straight on line right off the get-go. Does a good job, and then look at him, he sticks his glove out to give his first baseman a target to throw at. Well done.
That was a play that Great Britain did not make yesterday, and it proved fatal to them in that loss to Italy. That inability of a lefty to cover first base in a key moment. So it's lefty on lefty action, and the pitch count works out perfectly, Dan, because he can continue this at bat, Sawayama, even if it passes 65 pitches.
One of the 2 hits for Great Britain. Koperniak singled off of Sawayama in the second inning. So where you have to really be careful. 2 balls and no strikes. do have the base open, but more than likely this will be the last hitter for Sawayama.
That's a strike.
Good curveball to get back in the count at 2-1. One of the things Sawayama has been very good at, he hasn't fallen into any particular patterns. He's used all three of his pitches and used them well.
In the air, in the gap. Maskai is there, and he makes the catch. Sawayama gives his skipper exactly what he wanted.
Strong performance from Enzo Sawayama. 10 swings and misses, 7 on the changeup, a couple on the four-seam fastball, and 1 on the sinker. 2 starts in World WBC in this Pool B. 8 innings, didn't allow any runs, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts. 4 solid innings for Team Brazil. Job well done.
There might be a spot for him on the all-pool team.
Oh, he's on the all-pool team. If I have a vote, I'm plugging every pitcher I can get in.
Little tapper, Gary Hill fields it and throws to first. So a new pitcher will be coming for Brazil next inning. There's a new pitcher here for Great Britain. And boy, he looked good the first time we saw him.
Yeah, a guy with a really good arm, big-time arm. Look at that ERA last year in high A, 3.82, 107 strikeouts, only 30 walks.
Enzo Hayashida.
Ooh, okay.
Gabriel Maciel will follow. 2 big hops for Chisholm. And 2 down.
Both teams, Brazil and Great Britain, pitchers throwing the ball really well.
There's a factor for pitchers from underdog countries sometimes in the World Baseball Classic when they face a USA, when they face Japan or the Dominican. That's a breaking ball that hits Maciel either in the leg or down in the foot. And sometimes that factor is intimidation.
It's a breaking ball from Hill that he just yanks right off the front right knee.
And it feels sometimes, Dan, if you're a pitcher who's pitched in foreign leagues or maybe low minors, and you're facing Judge, you're facing Ohtani, you're facing the Dominican Republic, it's scary. And it's hard to just trust that when your manager says, just throw strikes. Yeah, you go throw strikes to these guys.
Yeah, particularly Team USA and Team Mexico. That USA lineup is just top to bottom filled with star power. We saw Mexico, the firepower last night in a 16-0 abbreviated win over Brazil.
This is Ducarmo. Feels like in this game, though, all the pitchers are like, oh, yeah, I got this.
Well, it's a little bit different when you're staring down the barrel. You're looking at Bobby Witt Jr., Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, Aaron Judge. Not to take anything away from these two teams, but, the firepower that USA, Mexico, and even Team Italy. Italy has some guys up there that can hit. They have some experienced big league players.
That ball's hit down the line, hit pretty well, into the corner. That's a fair ball. Maciel racing for third, on his way home. The throw to the plate, he's in there. Brazil's first run in 20 innings.
Really aggressive send, but I think a great send by the third base coach. That ball rattled around in the corner in left field for a little while, and they send Maciel. An aggressive send, but a good send. start getting to this point in the game, you get to the 5th inning, runs are so important.
Gabriel do Carmo in the 9 spot. The Brazilian catcher knocks in a run.
It can be so frustrating as a pitcher. You get the first couple outs, ground ball back to the mound, and a simple ground out. The second, a hit by pitch and a big double.
Time called, and Ramirez steps out.
You see this swing by DeCarmo. This ball gets down in the corner.
He had the windmill going right away.
He's trying to wave and said, hey, let's go, Maciel, go.
Gil Hill, when he faced Team USA, had 3 strikeouts, or excuse me, Mexico. 3 strikeouts, looked great, and then 2 of his runs scored after he came out of the game when he tired and walked a few. Lucas Ramirez swings and misses.
Good pitch there from Hill, that hard breaking ball down at the back foot of young Lucas Ramirez. Had a big night against Team USA. Took Logan Webb and Gabe Spire deep in that game against Team USA.
There's a lot of front foot breaking balls to these lefty bats for Brazil from Gil Hill.
Good changeup right there from Hill. Take a look at Sawayama right there. He's loving it. 4 really good innings. He's pitched 2 games here in this Pool B. 4 scoreless in each appearance. 8 innings, 4 hits allowed. No runs, a couple of walks, and 6 strikeouts.
It's a great shot. Our director, Ben Johnston. Keith Costas producing. 2-2. Swing and a miss. But Brazil, scoreless for 20 innings. Breaks through. A 2-out double. A race to the plate. Gabriel Maciel. It's 1-0. There's your run, Thiago da Silva. Go get him out of the bullpen for Brazil. He'll get the bottom of the order for Great Britain. It starts with Ian Lewis Jr., a shortstop who's in left field in today's game. And he hits one to right, hits it pretty well. Ramirez back at the wall. We're tied. That was quick.
Most of the time, the most important pitch you're going to throw as a reliever is the first one. Lewis must have been sitting on a fastball middle 3rd in because he puts a charge in this one. This one was a no-doubter.
I just love that. I wish they'd hit more homers. They brought the sword out when Harry Ford homered in the first game.
Inner 3rd, tries to get a first pitch fastball by Ian Lewis, and he would have no part of it. He knew it as soon as he hit it too. This one well out of Dyken Park.
So it's 1-1. Da Silva throws a strike to Trace Thompson. Fly ball out back in the 2nd.
A lot of deception in that delivery from Da Silva. Turns his back to the hitter. Can be tough to pick up the ball when a pitcher turns as far back as he does. Comes back with a changeup and a good one. 75 miles an hour. Pirate fans here.
Right, and his The youngster's got a Trash Panda.
Yeah, look at there.
Rocket City Trash Panda shirt, and there's the ball. He's already in his seat because Skeens is throwing tonight, so he's locked it up.
There's a good look at the celebratory costumes for Great Britain.
Two balls, two strikes. Wallace Clark, the 9-hitter, up next. Da Silva. This is out. Great Britain love to get Thompson on. He can, even at 35, he can still scoot. Rienzo on the phone. Bullpen starting to mill about. 3-2.
Another changeup from Da Silva. Had Trace Thompson out front just a bit. Wallace Clark on the on-deck circle.
Three twos in. Thompson with speed is aboard, and we check in with John Morosi.
Rich, one potential element in that Lewis home run was some difficulty with pitch comm and communication. There you see DeCarmo speaking with Thiago Da Silva. It seemed as though they perhaps were not on the same page, and it's important to point out that rarely do the players on this Team Brazil squad utilize the pitch comm communication assets. DeCarmo, for his own right, communication itself would not be the issue. He is actually quadrilingual, Portuguese, French, Spanish, and English. So certainly the asset of being multilingual is in DeCarmo's toolkit.
And he's got the pitch comm thing right on his right shin guard, like just above the kneecap. Pitch misses outside. There you go. Those the pitch comm transmitters have to be of rugged design to be sitting there. Wallace Clark swings and misses.
Another good changeup from Da Silva.
Let's see if Thompson is on the move here. Count 1-2. There's nobody out. Clark did strike out back in the third. He's not running. The pop-up is out of play. The other challenge in this environment when you use pitch comm, you can use the factory voice, like Siri's voice, to call fastball, curveball, sweeper, whatever. Or you can record your own voice in there. So picking the language you want to use for a team that has guys that speak different languages, that might be a little challenging too. He is running, and the liner is foul. You can also record if there's something a catcher wants to always remind the pitcher of. Dan, keep your shoulder closed.
Right.
Make sure you follow to the plate or stay balanced. You can put that on there too. And you can also throw a bleep and strike.
Right. Try to calm a guy down, have his favorite song playing, right?
Counts 1-2. Thompson had a great jump. Not running. Lined up the middle. Ito!
There's your guy, Ito. He seems to be everywhere. Fortunately for Great Britain right there, not having Thompson on the run. That's one of the things, the risks you run when you send a runner. Thompson would have been on the move. This would have been a double play ball. Very well positioned is Ito.
Eaton now has popped out, struck out. And that pitch looked like it was just at the knees and maybe caught the corner.
Thompson draws a throw over to first base. The things you'd like to do if you have a good inclination that an off-speed pitch is coming, it's normally a better time to run. Ball doesn't get to home plate as quickly as it does with a fastball. A couple of ways you can slow the running game down: hold the ball, step off. But with the disengagement, you can only throw over there one time. You also have the pitch out in your back pocket if you really feel runners going on a particular pitch. The key to that is getting ahead, though. You're certainly not going to pitch out 1-0 or 2-1.
Ian Lewis led off the inning with a homer to tie the game. Brazil scratched out their first run in 20 innings in the top of this 5th inning. Solidly hit into left. And Great Britain now at first and second. And still one out. Eaton continues his push to be on the all-pool team. He's got 6 hits now.
Yeah, had the only 3 hits for Great Britain in their game against USA. You can see why they, before this pool play began, we had a chance to meet with the managers. Nothing but good things to say about Eaton, the way he plays, the style of play that he has. Another trip to the mound from Rienzo to talk to De Silva.
This is the first of 2 from Houston. Later tonight, Mexico and Team USA. Then the schedule eases. No more day-night doubleheaders. You get a pair of single night games to finish the pool, with Italy against USA and then Italy against Mexico. Italy-USA is tomorrow night. Italy-Mexico Wednesday night. And then, of course, here this weekend, you get quarterfinal action.
Well, if you're Great Britain right now, this is the part of order you'd like to have up with runners on. Harry Ford, Jazz Chisholm Jr. on deck. If it gets that far, B.J. Murray. The heat, the power part of this lineup, up now for Great Britain.
Runners are rolling, and the throw goes behind down to second. Safe. Eaton, the trail runner, got a good enough jump. DeCarmo popped out, almost trying to decide which base to throw to.
Neglected to go to try to get that trail runner. Thompson had a great jump going from second to third. Makes it tough now. You have to bring the infield in if you're Team Brazil.
For a good hitter in Harry Ford, sitting on a 2-0. That's a strike. It's 2-1.
Thompson at second base had a little bit of a walking lead. I don't think they would have had a shot at all.
Good throw.
Took a shot to try to get that runner, Eaton, the trail runner.
Ford, little looper into right field. Ramirez has a good arm, makes the catch. 1 run will score, and the throw is cut. And the Brits have the lead. It's 2-1.
Yeah, the best part of the order for Great Britain, Harry Ford, didn't hit it hard, but with the infield drawn in, a little flare to right field. Great Britain takes the lead 2-1. See the infield in. I don't know if they would have had a play even in regular depth. This ball hit perfectly right in front of Ramirez, who does a good job of getting it in, hitting the cutoff man. You see Ford here out in front a little bit this one. Makes it easy for Trayce Thompson to score the go-ahead run.
Pitching change for Brazil. 2-1. Harry Ford gives them the lead. Brazil's second pitching change comes with runners at the corners and 1 out. Infield playing halfway up the middle, even at the corners. And Jazz Chisholm fouls it back to the screen.
Yeah, big Villarreal comes in. Guy with a good arm. Lower three-quarter arm slot delivery. Low 90s fastball. Good breaking ball to go along with it.
Fouled at the plate. Yuichi Matsumoto, the manager of Brazil, who's now faced with runners at the corners, told us today that he was going to go with Enzo Sawayama and then Bo Takahashi, his 2 best starters. And Takahashi is just starting to warm up in the bullpen.
No.
Pitch misses outside. We've seen Da Silva and now Villarreal, and it almost feels like that's a little late to get Takahashi up right now.
I think you try to buy. You're hoping that Da Silva would have been able to get through this inning clean.
That's going to be tough to double up Chisholm. And that's all they're going to get is the out at second.
Boy, that's a big run and a good job there by Jazz Chisholm. But the infield playing at normal depth, anything on the ground, middle part of the diamond, is going to get that run in from third base. You talk to any great RBI guys, they'll tell you the key to knocking in runs is putting the ball in play. See Jazz here, a simple ground ball to second for a fielder's choice, but more importantly, that third run scores.
So 3-1 the lead. Murray now. That was not a balk. That was a violation of the pitch clock. Pitch is fouled back by Murray.
This is a spot right here. You're kind of playing with house money. If you want to send Jazz, this would be a good time. Can be a little bit more difficult with the left-handed pitcher on the mound, but if you can get into scoring position. Little different look from Jazz. He was sporting the glasses the first couple of games in the WBC, going without the goggles in this all-important 4th game for Great Britain.
Ito flips, out-recorded, but the bullpen for Brazil coughs up 2 runs. It's 3-1, Great Britain. Ian Lewis untied this game with a leadoff homer in the bottom of the 5th. Great Britain added a run. Vitor Ito to bunt, and it's right back to Gary Gil-Hill.
Like the idea, execution, ideally you want to get that ball between the pitcher and first base, turn it into a foot race. Unfortunately for Victor, he bunts it right back to Hill, makes it a relatively easy play. This is the old take it with you, but he wants to get that down the first base line. A simple play for Hill.
Carvalho and then Regenato in the 6th. And one foul back to the screen.
Good fastball there from Gil-Hill, 94 miles an hour. Your Carvalho, you've got to dial it up a little bit. This right-hander can get it up there in a hurry. Mid-90s will touch 97.
Nope.
2-1 from the bottom of the order, the very bottom of the order. Gabriel do Carmo, an RBI double, and that's it for Brazil. 1 run in the last 21 innings. That is strike 3 called.
Wow, really located fastball. 94 miles an hour. Inside corner, catches that corner. Locks up Carvalho. See that 4-seam grip ball has a little bit of cut in it.
Here comes Regenato. This reminds me of Tom Hallion.
Oh, punched him out right there, right?
Right? Remember Tom?
Yeah. Frank Pulley used to do the same thing.
He's starting a chainsaw or something.
Good change of pace, good curveball there from Hill. So we've seen that fastball in the mid-90s, couple of good changeups, and a good curveball.
No.
Reginato takes inside. If you're just happening by, Great Britain, Brazil, Pool B, 0-3, don't want to finish at the bottom. You certainly give yourself that opportunity to not have to qualify for the next World Baseball Classic. Two-two. Reginato to left field. Lewis is there and makes the catch. 1-2-3. Go the Brazilians. 3-1 Great Britain. Great Britain here in the bottom of the sixth. A 3-1 lead. Hector Villarroel continues. Hit hard on the ground. Rojo fumbles and can't pick it up.
I'm out.
We've all been there.
Simple ground ball to second base. Not able to catch it clean. The ball hit sharply. Hits right off the heel of the glove. You see him bouncing around, and a little bit of a scary feeling as a position player. You're reaching for that ball and you can't quite seem to get a handle on it.
Matt Koperniak. What's the saying? Be quick, but don't be in a hurry. That's, I believe, a John Wooden. But I've heard infield instructors also, trot that one out too.
Yeah, one of the keys too when the ball rattles around like that, if you can, you try to secure it barehanded. It's a lot more difficult when you're trying to pick it up with your hand and your glove.
Runner goes, big jump. Throw from the knees by Ducarmo. And a stolen base for Johnson.
Aggressive play right there by Great Britain. I like it too. You want to force the action. You already have the lead 3-1. Get a runner into scoring position. If you're Koperniak right now, do whatever you can to get that runner to the third base. Simple ground ball to the right side would do. But make sure you move him over. There it is.
And Koperniak does his job. Rojo just gets him at first.
I'm out.
That won't look like much in the scorebook, but a job well done. He gets congratulations from his first base coach and the guys in the dugout. One of those simple plays that doesn't show up in a box score. Solid job. Job well done by Matt Koperniak.
Lewis is a switch hitter. He homered off of Da Silva from the other side of the plate. And against the lefty, he's ahead in the count 1-0.
Once again, Brazil has to bring the infield in. It cuts down your angles on a ground ball. Good time to hit right now if you're Ian Lewis. Got to cut that swing down right now. You think small and good things happen. You get overly aggressive, you make it a little bit easier for a pitcher to change speeds, use the breaking ball.
Bo Takahashi, a right-hander, whom we were told was going to pitch, had warmed up last half inning. Joseph Contreras is now up. High chopper, tough play, and the only play is to first.
Solid fundamental baseball by Great Britain. Get the guy over, get him in the scoring position, get him in. Good job there by Lewis. Swinging a little aggressive early in that at-bat. Put it in play. Chopper that Ito had no choice but to go to first base with. That's a big run for Great Britain.
Villarroel is, I'm sure, muttering to himself. He has 3 ground balls. None of them really hit that hard. And he's given up a run. It's an unearned run. Rojo kicking that first ball. And the stolen base pay off. Thompson's up. He's 0 for 1 with a walk.
Trace Thompson right now, you need to sell out. You get a fastball. Villarreal, some impressive numbers.
Everything in play has been a ground ball. No swing. Then we check in with John Morosi.
Rich and Dan, I love a great base running play, and Yvonne Johnson gave us that. Watch this great secondary lead, and then going on contact, aggressive read. As soon as he saw that ball down, he was off. It's the little things that win in tournament baseball. Look at that. Smooth first step, great secondary lead. A bunch of infield instructors and coaches and base running coaches around the country are looking at that play, both offensively and defensively.
That's good stuff. And Brazil trying to either buy time here for the bullpen and Contreras to get loose.
And 9. Yeah.
See Takahashi to be an indication he's not going to throw with the fact that he heated up and he's not come in the game. And there will be a pitching change, it looks like. Although, wait a minute. This looks like an umpire-initiated visit. He ran right over to the dugout, and the manager and the translator came out to chat. And this is a pitching change. All right, 4-1. Great Britain has another run. Oh, Dad's ready. Joseph Contreras is coming in. Father and son. 17-year-old Joseph Contreras. His father, highly decorated world champion in the big leagues.
17 years old. What a bright future this young man has. Tops out at 98 miles an hour, mid-90s fastball. Has a slider. And the Vulcan grip forkball. Something tells me you'll be seeing this guy pitch in the big leagues in the not-too-distant future. That big moment against Team USA, bases loaded, induced Aaron Judge to hit into a double play ball.
I don't know that in the South Florida High School League they have PitchCom. Maybe not yet.
There's a proud father right there. You touched on it, Rich. Decorated member of the 2005 Chicago White Sox team that won it all, won the World Series, and clinched here in Houston against the Astros.
That's out. Oh.
1-0 pitch to Wallace Clark is outside. Vanderbilt University. There are some great places to pitch in college. That's one of them. That one fouled off. JP?
Before this game, a great conversation between Jose Contreras, Joseph's father, and Alan Thomas, the strength and conditioning coach of Team Brazil. There they are. Alan Thomas was the strength coach for the Chicago White Sox when Jose was pitching there. So we talked earlier about the Alan Thomas connection. Well, Alan has been in this role in Major League Baseball and beyond, training players now for multiple generations as well.
3-1 pitch is out. Upon further investigation, his high school is actually in Roswell, Georgia, Blessed Trinity Catholic High School. a member of the class of 2026.
Amazing what this young man, the stage he was brought in against Team USA. You can see why so many scouts across baseball think this young man has a bright future. Slight, slender type build, really loose arm.
Nate Eaton now.
Good sinking action there in that two-seam fastball. 94 miles an hour. Can get it up there 97, 98.
Buries that one in the dirt.
Come up.
So his high school season is probably in motion by now.
Just
right?
about to start, yes. You would have to assume after getting judged the ground into that double play, his confidence right now has to be at an all-time high.
And his Wikipedia page has increased. That one fouled back. It already describes his inning in the third against the United States, so things happen fast.
Doesn't take much when you do anything either good or bad when number 99, Aaron Judge, is involved.
He's 1-2 on a good hitter, Nate Eaton. And he strikes him out, froze him. World Series ring on display, 17 years old. In the World Baseball Classic, Great Britain on top of Brazil. This copyrighted telecast presented by Authority of the World Baseball Classic may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. Accounts and descriptions of the game may not be disseminated without expressed written consent. Rich Waltz, Dan Plesac, John Morosi in Houston. And a 4-1 lead for Great Britain. Brazil needs runs, and they'll see another right-hander, the third in this game for the Brits, Ryan Long.
Ball.
And Long misses down low. AAA with Baltimore is Ryan Long, 26-year-old, Woodinville, Washington.
It's a big part of the game here for Great Britain. You have that lead 4-1 going into the 7th inning. The way you'd like to have it scripted when it started. Package of pitches with Long, that four-seam fastball. We'll throw it half the time. Mix in a cutter, changeup, and occasional split finger. They'll throw the split finger mainly to the lefties.
Go.
Has not yet been able to get to the big leagues. He's been
2.
in the Orioles organization for 6 years. Split his time between AA and AAA in 2025 with a 4.01 ERA in 28 games, 16 starts. Swing and a miss.
Good look at the split finger right there. He'll throw it to lefties. Swing and miss pitch, and a dandy. Always important to get that first out of the inning. Good down tilt action. There you see the grip, the split finger grip. Ball has a little bit of tumbling action, and the sky swings right over the top of it.
Rojo. Paul Skeens night tonight for Team USA. Mexico and USA, our second game, and that's a 7 o'clock start. And Scott looks like got both teams represented.
Split right down the middle.
That pitch is up. Manny Barreda is going to start for Mexico. Barreda, who pitched in the big leagues briefly with the Atlanta Braves. Chopper to third. On to first. But that's going to be a bullpen game, so he's more of an opener and just to open the gates, and you're going to see a steady stream of guys coming out of the Mexico bullpen.
Yeah, really looking forward to that one tonight. 8 o'clock Eastern time. The biggest game so far this Pool B. Mexico, United States. Bullpenning versus Paul Skeens.
And that's, in this format, the first round or pool play, that's not that unfamiliar. Because if you look at any of the games we've done, there's, in most cases, 5, 6 guys that are going to throw because you're under an inning limit and it's the first action. You don't really want to overuse anybody. Hayashida.
Good fastball there from Long, 94 miles an hour. That upper quadrant of the strike zone.
Long has that one fouled off. Long was a part of the World Baseball Classic in 2023, pitched well in relief. And there he had to be initiated. It was his first time with the Brits. And the initiation was go out into a public area and sing the UK national anthem as loud as he could. No doubt recorded and posted on social media.
Wonder if our JP Morosi was any part of that. Getting his initial welcome to Great Britain. 1-2-3 7th. Well done.
Pair of strikeouts and a 4-1 lead. 7th inning stretch in Houston.
One head to the top, keep it going, we don't stop. One head, do it now. If you move it, make it count. We got one head.
That was one of the best catches of the day. 4-1. Great Britain up and on top. Joseph Contreras at 17 facing Harry Ford. Takes away. It's a ball and a strike. Ford today an RBI single. And a swing and a miss. What looked like either a nasty split or change.
Yeah, he has that Vulcan grip changeup that he throws. Same pitch that he struck Nate Eaton out. There you can see that Vulcan grip.
Dad probably had a thing or two to do about that. I mean, maybe like at age 2, he had the ball and had, grip it like this.
Yeah, one of the keys is you have to make sure that you hold it the same way every time, or you have hitters that try to pick up every little thing in your delivery. Held the Vulcan grip, but that last pitch was a fastball, as was that one. 95 with a lot of life on it.
Is it disconcerting to you that there's an entire, probably multiple generations that have no idea what the word Vulcan means?
It is. It's another one of those words like razzmatazz we talked about the other night.
Right.
Wow, there's the Vulcan right there and a dandy. Wow. Same arm speed. Pitch hit his father, Jose, through. Was he a really good pitcher? Here's a good look at it right here. Ball starts off the plate and look where it ends up. Look at Ford way out in front of it.
I mean, that was the 60s when it started, right? Star Trek?
Yep.
Leonard Nimoy's character, Dr. Spock, and of course with all the movies and the sequels and trilogies and all of that, there were more and more Vulcans that came around and had the live long and prosper Vulcan sign when they spread those fingers apart. Lined into left, Jazz Chisholm with a base hit.
Well, this all started with Brendan Beck, delivered 4 scoreless innings for Great Britain, kind of set the stage. 3-run 5th inning and a solo run in the 6th. Couldn't ask for anything more right now if you're Brad Marcelino. Have a lead with 6 outs to get.
Now Murray, AAA with the Cubs. Last couple of years, Murray's made a big jump in terms of his numbers. Born in the Bahamas, moved to Florida when he was 14. Played college ball there at Florida Atlantic, FAU, in Boca. Known for their success on the basketball court a few years ago when they got to the Final Four. Runner goes. Jazz out.
Great job by Ito. Your guy, Rich. Fundamentally sound, the coach. Jazz overslid at second base.
Keep the glove on.
Gets a great jump on that Vulcan changeup. Beats it easily, but you see that left foot come off the bag, and there's Ito, the right man at the right time. Has the presence of mind. He's looking for a foot to tag, and he found it.
Good, buddy. Thank you.
Murray's still up.
Hey, 104.
It counts 3-1.
Yeah, buddy.
That one fouled back out of play.
Another good fastball from the 17-year-old Contreras. The Carmo.
Ito, also an interpreter for the Hanshin Tigers.
Well, you see the great life on that fastball from Contreras. 96 miles an hour, and it tied Murray up.
I need to get with Ito here and improve my Instagram game. He's big on Instagram, apparently.
All 4.
That one's in. Murray's aboard. Maybe we get Ito as a consultant, a social media consultant to the World Baseball Classic.
We can always use that. Seems to be the new wave right now. Social media and creating a brand for yourself.
Yvonne Johnson. It's 1-0. Contreras, fastball, it's fouled off. Joseph Contreras into his second inning in relief. He came in and finished the 6th. Pitching here in the 7th. Don't know that he's going to go a whole lot farther than this inning. Swing and a miss by Johnson. Brazil's bullpen is active.
Another good changeup slash Vulcan change from Contreras.
Runner goes, pitches in, and Murray has the bag. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Great Britain continuing to push the envelope. The more runners you can get into scoring position, possibly pick up a 2-out run.
In the fight.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Great Britain trying to get a win and not finish in last place. And by World Baseball Classic rules right now, that gets them into the next World Baseball Classic without having to qualify. Qualifiers happen, I guess, what, the year before? The fall before the Classic.
Pitch total starting to climb up a little bit on the youngster here. This will be his 32nd pitch. Koperniak waiting on deck.
That one fouled back. Did you know the Vulcan changeup has its own Wikipedia page?
I did not know that.
Yeah, there's all kinds of Vulcan changeup stuff in here. Like some of the early pioneers of the changeup. John Gant, Randy Tomlin, Joe Nelson. I know Joe Nelson. Eric Gagne. Timeout by the hitter there. Roy Oswalt adopted it in 2010. Paul Skeens throws a Vulcan changeup. And it's outside. And it sounds like it was Joe Nelson that named the pitch. And he said that his choice for the pitch was either going to be Nanu Nanu, which is from Mork and Mindy, or the Vulcan.
Pitch just missing. You could see Contreras. It's like, oh, you're supposed to swing at that.
First and second now, 2 outs.
They swing at that in high school. You get more advanced, some hitters that have some experience. You could see they're forcing the young 17-year-old to bring the ball into the strike zone.
Cobb County hitters are pretty good. But yeah, you're right. Koperniak is 1 for 3. It's off the end of the bat, and that's trouble. Gabriel, did he get it? No, it lands. Runner coming home all the way from first and scores. 2 runs across.
Maciel did all he could do. He's playing a little bit deep, respecting the power in the bat of Koperniak. All he can do is get this one on his short hop. You see he's going a long way, trying to close in. This ball clearly bounces. And with 2 outs, it's an aggressive send.
And right behind with 2 outs was Yvonne Johnson. Here's Lewis now.
I feel like Great Britain has created enough space. Just need to get 6 more outs.
Lewis had the biggest swing of this game. Brazil had broken a long inning drought, 20, before they had scored, and they did score on a 2-out double in the 5th. That one is smacked out into right center field. Ramirez is there to make the catch. 2 add-on runs. To the 8th we go. 6-1, Great Britain.
Mound for Great Britain, and let's hope that his next outing is as memorable as the last one. Judge, Harper, Henderson, Roman Anthony all struck out, and a glare and some exclamations in the general direction of the U.S. dugout. When I spoke with Victor earlier today, he clarified that he was not actually yelling at the U.S. players. It was more towards the crowd. Be that as it may, it certainly seemed to fire up Team USA in their rally to eventually win that ball game. I think one of the more important parts of Victor's story is that he was actually living back in Philadelphia where he was born before moving to the Virgin Islands, and he was living in Philadelphia not playing baseball. What happened was a friend of his that he had played baseball with in the Virgin Islands won a tournament. He congratulated him on social media. The parent of his friend noticed that and messaged Najir Victor saying, "Hey, are you still playing baseball?" He said, "Actually, no, I've given it up," and that inspired him to get back into the game, and now he's here with another appearance, and as has been a theme today, Rich, a bit of a PitchCom issue.
Yes, and it's of contentious discussion going on right now. Pitch clock violation, and I think Great Britain is saying, hey, our pitch comms were not working. Can't hear, and the home plate umpire says pitch clock violation. That's 1-0, and Harry Ford says, hey, hold on. I'm not sure what the verdict is. Are they going to take that ball off the... No, they're not taking the ball off the scoreboard. Here's the pitch.
Come walking in right out of the bullpen before you throw your first pitch or ball one.
Walk right into trouble.
Walk yourself right into a mess.
Maciel is the 8-hitter. DeCarmo's on deck. That one foul back.
Yeah, good fastball right there, 95 miles an hour. And that appearance against Team USA, upper 90s fastball and a hard slider to go along with it. Key for Nash is to get ahead, to give him a chance to use that wipeout breaking ball that he has.
High fly ball off the bat of Maciel. Lewis is out there and makes the catch. We asked Brad Marcelino what he thought about A, Victor's performance. Great. B, what JP just described with his glance and dialogue, so to speak, with what he said were the fans. And Marcelino said, you know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. You have to be confident and you have to be emotional if you're going to win against a team like USA. You have to have that confidence that I can get them out, that I don't care who they are. Here's what I got. Try to hit it.
One of the things you do when you come out of that bullpen area, you have to make a decision. You're either going to be the hunter or the hunted. I think most relievers that have success, they have that, they live on the edge of believing in your stuff, and I think so much of it is between the ears. When you get the feeling, well, you know what, he just picked up a nice strike, though. You know what? They give it, then they take it. So he's able to pick up a strike without throwing a pitch.
In other sports,
that's the kind of league I want to throw in.
In other sports, they would say that's a makeup call.
There's the hard breaking ball.
You know, I am, now that we're into this for 4 days and 8 games, I am kind of happy we don't have the challenge system here, the ABS challenge system, because the PitchCom stuff and disengagements and all of that has at times been somewhat confusing for some of these pitchers who may not have used it all that much.
That's the breaking ball, the one he had against Team USA. This is a dandy, too. Appears to be a four-seam fastball up in the zone and drops right in. You see Del Carmo buckle a little bit. Wasn't quite sure if that was a heater in. Pitch changed directions.
Nope.
Now Ramirez.
Ever since game 1 against Team USA, a lot of the opponents have tried to pitch him inside, particularly with that breaking ball down and in. Lucas, a very aggressive young hitter. If he's ever going to get a fastball and sit on one, he should get one here. 2-0, down by 6 runs.
Step in, Lucas. Look up.
Brazil needs base runners, but I think this is anything close to straight. He's going to be swinging.
2-0,
Go.
and it's up. You almost heard, I feel like that was Brendan Miller, the home plate umpire, that said, hey, Lucas, look up. Because you have to make eye contact by the clock is at 8 seconds.
One more.
And so Ramirez walks. Maybe that's Ito's walk-up song.
I don't know if he's going to be on the all-tournament team, but I know you're going to be pushing me for votes.
He'll be an alternate
You
selection.
might be the biggest Victor Ito fan in Plan Pool B that there is.
I just love the fact that he's an interpreter, has been a coach, hasn't really played a lot, and still he's able to, lay down a bunt and hit and run, turn the double play. That means there's still hope for us, Dan.
That's right. Can't quite catch up with that moving fastball. 95. 0-2. Something tells me that good hard slider down and in coming here from Nash Victor. Let's see what he elects to do. Came with the express.
And it was on the corner, and it's still 6-1. Great Britain on top of Brazil. Bottom 8 here. Second game tonight, 7 o'clock Houston time. Team USA, Team Mexico. And one very, very loud ballpark. All the tickets are gone. There's standing room tickets are gone.
Takahashi, the new pitcher. We thought we would see him earlier. The initial plan was to go Sawayama to possibly to Takachi. One of the more experienced pitchers on Team Brazil. Trying to keep it at 6-1.
I think tonight, if they wanted to sell out standing room on the streets around the ballpark, they could probably make money doing that too.
Yeah, this is going to be quite a game tonight. 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Mexico against Paul Skeens and Team USA.
By the way, and Griffin Jacks certainly will be excited about this as well as Skeens, because both pitched at Air Force. The Air Force baseball team was in Texas. I'm not sure who they were playing. Baylor. And those two got together, Jackson Skeens. They're buying tickets. The whole team's coming tonight.
Fantastic. We're going to have to make our way down, see if we can't meet some members of the Air Force baseball team.
Manny Barrera will start for Mexico, but as we've noted, that would be a short start, more of an opener and a bullpen game for Team Mexico. Both teams at 2-0. Italy's 2-0. They're off today, but the tough part of their schedule lines up tomorrow and on Wednesday, as they get Team USA tomorrow and then Mexico on Wednesday. Everybody's 2-0 from those 3 teams. Wallace Clark. That pops off of DuCarmo. And Thompson arrives at second.
Looks like he caught that one right off the heel. The glove may have gotten the wrist of Del Carmo. Not sure if there was a cross-up. It's almost like he was expecting a fastball. Instead, that ball had a little wrinkle on it.
Time out, time out, time out!
Intentional walk and intentional toss to John Morosi.
What a day and experience for the Marcelino family. There's Bradley Marcelino, who is now 3 outs away from his first win at the WBC as the manager of Team Great Britain. And there is his father, Oscar Marcelino, who moved his family from the Philippines to Great Britain when he was young, and Bradley was born right in Enfield in the UK. And Oscar and Bradley are both members of the British Baseball Hall of Fame. Clayson, who is Bradley's oldest son, is a bat boy on this team, and I know all of us have so much enjoyed spending time with Oscar. He has a lot of wisdom. He's a 3-time national champion with the Enfield Spartans of the British Baseball League, and really everybody in the Marcelino family is so invested in growing the game in Britain. There's now this move to really improve upon the National Baseball Softball Complex that is at the same site as the Wycombe Wanderers Football Club. So the infrastructure is improving, the results are improving, and there you see what Bradley has done. Of course, once this tournament wraps up, Bradley resumes his normal work as one of the hitting coaches in the minor league system of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
That pitch is high, and JP, Oscar goes back to the Philippines, where he has gone and has baseball camp. So he's still teaching the game in the Philippines. Although he is a bit frustrated there's not more organized baseball there as players get older, you know, from the 12, 13, 14-year-old age. He's still in baseball and still enjoys it.
Well, Rich, one of the really important points that you just made was to keep the game growing in places that don't have the same feeder system that we do in the States, where it's Pony League or travel ball, Legion ball, and then into high school, into college, is finding ways to structure that scaffolding for young players to keep them involved in the game, high school into college. And sometimes, and I know that you and Dan have asked about this as well, you're seeing more players from Europe who are trying to find paths to play in universities in the U.S., and certainly that could be true for the Philippines as well. It's just a matter of finding that opportunity and, of course, being able to afford passage now to the U.S.
Harry Ford takes inside. Good stuff, John. Yeah, one of these days we're going to hear some travel ball dad say, oh, yeah, we're going to the Philippines to play this weekend.
Right? Long trip, packing up for 3 or 4 days. We're going to be there a while.
Ford had an RBI single in the 5th. That was the big inning for Great Britain. Brazil had a 2-out double to get a run in the top of the 5th, but the answer was quick. 3 in that half inning, 1 in the 6th, and 2 more in the 7th.
Takahashi uncharacteristically a little wild with his pitches. Normally a good control pitcher. Coming out of the bullpen here in the 8th inning.
That one fouled back.
Fine ERA last year with Cebu, 3.05 ERA. Not a big strikeout guy. 34 strikeouts to 21 walks.
7 minor league seasons in the U.S. And Harry Ford trots down to first. Bags are loaded. There's 1 out. Here comes Jazz Chisholm.
chance for Great Britain to add some runs. Feel pretty safe with a 6-1 lead.
Infield in, Chisholm knocks it into right field. 1 run scores. Wendell Clark will score. And the Brits make it 8-1. Well, last night we experienced a walk-off run rule game, 16-0. 3 more runs here, and it's over.
Yeah, Takahashi's just having a very difficult time. Normally the guy that's around the strike zone. This inning, just the inability to throw strikes. Seems like he's been behind most hitters, 2-0, 2-1.
His body language and his stuff look completely different than the other day.
Yeah, I think some frustration has set in too. You go out there and the inning it's not happening the way you envision it when you come in out of the bullpen.
Ford and Chisholm out there. Murray's doubled and walked. Up the middle, Ito flips out there. Clean relay out there, and a double play. Takahashi finishes the inning. 8-1 Great Britain. Ninth inning has arrived. Great Britain trying to put the finishing touches on a decisive win and get their victory. And as World Baseball Classic rules state right now, get themselves in the next World Baseball Classic.
Tristan Beck brought on to get the final 3 outs. His brother Brendan started this game for Great Britain. 4 scoreless innings set the table.
All right, we started with the Beck family. We get to end with the Beck family. JP?
What a day for the Becks. They were on their feet when it started, when Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds played as Brendan warmed up in honor of Lucy, who is the mother of the Beck brothers, and there she is, Ryan Beck, their father. You see to Ryan's immediate left is their sister Megan. Again, all 3 Becks went to Stanford, simply remarkable. And then Riley, who is Brendan's wife, she is here as well. Just what an amazing day for them to share. As we discussed, Lucy was born in Wales, and this is a great celebration of their family from Corona, California, and Lucy's roots in Wales.
And Tristan, about to start his 4th season with the San Francisco Giants. Out of their bullpen last year, did make a start, and he wasted little time in getting Carvalho with a strikeout. And it's, you know, sometimes things line up here, not only when you're trying to make art.
Good breaking ball right here. He gets Carvalho to swing over the top of 2 outs to go for Great Britain.
But in terms of lining things up, this works out great for Reginato. His final at bat in his long career, and it's a grounded to third, and he is thrown out. And thus concludes what has been an incredible ride for an ambassador of baseball in Brazil, great performer as well in many different international competitions. He's got the Captain C on his jersey for a good reason. Was it George Brett that finished his career with a, what did he say? Oh, I just want to hit a ground ball to second and bust it down the line, and that's good enough for me. Breaking ball misses up and in.
Disappointing day for Team Brazil.
Leonardo Reginato.
Sawayama pitched so effectively, 4 scoreless.
Mateus Silva gets the at-bat. Ball's in the air. And it's over. Great Britain gets the win, and Brazil going to have to go through the qualifiers in a few years. Ian Lewis had the big blow, that home run that tied the game.
All started with 4 solid innings from Brendan Beck. 4 innings pitched. He didn't allow a run. Walked a couple and struck out 4. The Beck brothers, the beginning ending, bidding 4 innings. Brendan Tristan pitches a 1-2-3 ninth, and Great Britain with an 8-1 victory. Their final game here in Pool B.
And only their second win ever in World Baseball Classic history. The Becks start what they finish. And an 8-1 win for the Brits. Look for many of these guys in the big leagues this coming season. The Becks and Harry Ford. And for Brad Marcelino, warm hugs.
And off to work. Minor league hitting instructor with the Diamondbacks.
That's right.
Get to Arizona, young man. They need you.
You'll be in the cage here shortly.
Happy manager right there. So much enthusiasm. It was nice having his father around. Both members of the Great Britain Baseball Hall of Fame.
And for Brazil, some of their young players.
Like that guy, Lucas Ramirez.
Fun to watch Lucas Ramirez and see how Joseph Contreras comes out of the high school season.
17 years old, able to induce Aaron Judge into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play in that game against Team USA. Lots of hugs going around for Great Britain. That's one goal in mind. Win this game 4 this afternoon.
And I suspect the next time we see them, there'll be some more big leaguers and there'll be a better ball club. Contreras certainly was one of the stories here. But Great Britain, as they did in 2023, gets the win, all important.
Can you imagine Contreras going to have to go back home? Probably have to head to English class tomorrow morning. He was just facing Aaron Judge, facing Team Great Britain, and back to reality.
Up-to-date standings. This is Pool B. And of course, Mexico, USA tonight. Italy gets both Mexico and the US in the next following days. And in Pool D, the Dominican and Venezuela are both undefeated. The loser, and they play on Wednesday, is lined up to play Japan in the first game of the quarterfinals. And it's Pool A's top 2 teams that are coming to Houston for the weekend for these quarterfinals. Got that? All right, put that in your calendar. Tonight's game, this should be a lot of fun. Hope you join us tonight, 8 Eastern, 7 Houston time. Paul Skeens is ready. Randy Arozarena. Mexico and USA was one of the great games of the 2023 World Baseball Classic. Mexico beat them 11-5. The rematch is tonight.
Something tells me that the luchador will be out in full effect. Mexico, U.S., 8 p.m. Eastern time.
For our producer, Keith Costas, our director, Ben Johnston, Dan Plesac, John Morosi, I'm Rich Waltz. A lot of fun, and it gets even better tonight. Mexico and USA. See you then.